I spent 7 years planning revenge on the man who ruined my life, and it was worth every second. Hi, Reddit. I've debated sharing this for a long time. I've written and deleted it more times than I can count. But it's time. This is a revenge story, a long one. 7 years in the making. It's not some dramatic movie plot with guns or car chases, but it's real, very real, and it changed my life. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to watch someone dig their own grave while you hold the shovel, well, here it is. Let's rewind to 2016. Back then, I was 27, just 2 years into a dream job at a boutique marketing firm. It was the first time in my life I felt like I was winning. I'd worked my ass off through college, paid my way without parental help, and finally landed a role as a strategist. My boss, Craig, was a 40-something smooth talker, loved by clients and executives. At first, I thought he was a mentor. He took me under his wing. We'd grab drinks after work. He'd invite me to meetings above my pay grade, told me I was the future of the company. I bought it all, hook, line, and sinker. What I didn't know was that Craig was a snake, the charming kind, the most dangerous type. While he was building me up, he was also stealing my ideas, manipulating co-workers, and laying a trap that would destroy my career. You see, we had this major pitch for a tech client that could land the firm $1 million retainer. I'd spent weeks working on it. Research, presentation, narrative, design. Craig asked me to send him my final draft for review the night before the pitch. I did. The next day, I wasn't invited to the meeting. Strange, but I figured maybe the client wanted only senior leadership. Hours passed. Then, at 4 p.m., I got an email from HR. I was being investigated for plagiarism. Craig had reported me. He claimed I'd stolen a former client's material and passed it off as original. He'd even forwarded proof, documents I'd never seen in my life. Someone had tampered with my files. I couldn't prove it, and Craig spun a compelling narrative. I was fired by the end of the week. Worse, the industry is small. Word spread fast. I was blacklisted. Interviewers would smile politely, then ghost me. My savings dried up. I ended up moving back into my parents' basement. The hardest part was facing my parents. They were proud people, immigrants who worked brutal factory jobs just to give me a shot. My mom cried when I told her. My dad didn't say a word for days. That silence hurt worse than any insult. Craig, meanwhile, got promoted, took credit for the pitch, landed a cover feature in a business magazine. He became that guy, the marketing guru. Every time I saw his name on LinkedIn, I felt sick. I spiraled, gained weight, lost friends, fell into a deep depression. There were days I didn't leave my room. Nights I stared at the ceiling, wondering how everything fell apart so fast. I applied to over 200 jobs, got 5 interviews, no offers. Eventually, I picked up freelance work, copywriting, some SEO gigs, ghostwriting articles for tech blogs, enough to eat and pay my phone bill. But I wasn't living, just surviving. 2 years passed. I scraped by with freelance gigs, nothing stable. Then one night, I was at a friend's party and overheard a conversation. A girl mentioned her boyfriend worked for Craig's firm. I asked questions, played dumb. Turns out Craig had a new rising star under him named Trevor. Eerily similar background to mine. Young, ambitious. Craig had been taking him to client meetings, mentoring him. It hit me like a truck. He was doing it again, grooming someone, setting them up to steal from. That night, I couldn't sleep. I opened a private doc and wrote one line. Operation Backfire. That wasn't just a name. It was a vow. I didn't want revenge that would land me in jail. I wanted a clean burn, a collapse from the inside. So I created a fake identity. Evan Cole, marketing freelancer. Built a fake resume with fake references, all controlled by me. Set up a website, testimonials, LinkedIn, even a fake Twitter account with bots to make it look legit. I learned how to spoof IP addresses, use voice modulation software, anonymize my browser history, spent hours researching ways to keep myself undetected. Then I applied to Craig's firm. Took months. I submitted cold pitches, spec work, even mailed a fake case study. Eventually, I got a reply. Not from Craig, but from one of his VPs. They brought me on as a contractor for a niche campaign. That was phase 1. I remember the day I got access to their internal Slack. It felt like slipping behind enemy lines. I took screenshots, saved every conversation involving Craig, especially the ones where he took credit for work that wasn't his. I played dumb, stayed polite, delivered quality work, just enough to get noticed, but not too much. It was a balancing act. I performed just well enough to be noticed, but not remembered. I declined video calls, slow internet, kept my camera off, and always used a voice modulator with a slight accent, said I was based overseas. I started getting invites to higher-level strategy meetings. Clients loved my work. VPs started giving me more responsibilities. All the while, I kept collecting client contracts, internal emails, performance reports, Craig's calendar, password dumps from employees who'd reused logins, rookie mistake. I built a dossier that would make any investigator drool. Craig had falsified reports to overbill clients, had 2 employees fired under false pretenses, was siphoning money through a shell consulting firm run by his cousin. He took kickbacks, bribed vendors, even had a burner phone. He thought he was untouchable. I created a Dropbox folder with all the dirt, sent it anonymously to the firm's CEO, 3 of their biggest clients, a journalist I knew from my early days. I even crafted a fake whistleblower letter signed a former employee who's had enough. Within 48 hours, Craig was suspended. Internal audit launched, clients threatened to sue, the journalist published a brutal expose. Craig denied it all, claimed sabotage. That's when I sent the final blow, a recording. Remember Trevor, the new rising star? I'd reached out to him months earlier, as Evan, and warned him, sent him hints. He started paying attention. One night, Craig drunkenly bragged to Trevor during a work trip about how he crushed some kid named Matt years ago. Trevor recorded it. Boom! Craig was fired. Reputation in shreds. Investigation pending. Firm lost 2 major clients. I deleted Evan Cole the next day. It's been a year. I've got a new job now, in a different field. Still creative, but healthier. I'm in therapy, I'm healing, I'm dating someone new. She doesn't know about Operation Backfire. Maybe one day I'll tell her, maybe not. But sometimes I think about Craig. I check his LinkedIn, now empty. He applied to 50+ roles last I heard. No one will touch him. A former coworker told me he's selling insurance now, commission only, fitting. It took 7 years, but I got my life back, and I never had to raise my voice. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's patient, surgical, and absolutely satisfying. If you've read this far, thanks for listening.